Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
On first down, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Ravens' 49-yard line.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And Jones has it over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
Get ready. Get ready.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Check right 54. Right 54. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Hey, alert 3. Alert 3.
Rosen off the play action. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is taken in at the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about there?
Watch twist.
And this time, Rosen will throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Gould with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
You must be dreaming.
Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Back to throw, Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the first guard selected in the draft back in April, Chris Lindstrom from BC. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
All day, 29. All day. 58 to Mike.
Out of the gun, Watson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Looking for Campbell downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
Monday. Check 3. Shit.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. On play action, Rosen. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
You ain't got nothing. Jim, 80 weapons. Hey, wahoo!
Now it's Rosen. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Rashawn Gary drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A toss play to Chubb. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Watson on 3rd down. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start with Hunt on the ground and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 47-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Get the ball.
Rosen will throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
On 2nd down now. It's Hunt, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the
beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Need some therapy after this. Save. Hey, pick it up. Check the heart rate.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on third down, Watson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Melvin Ingram, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And now it's Rosen looking. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. They are in the 2nd quarter down in Miami. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Set. 19. 57 for Mike. Here we go, here we go. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
This is it. 19. I'm trying to collect. Let's go. Motion, motion, motion. Let's get to 55.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson now to throw. And he'll find Hall. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? That play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. A shotgun snap for Watson. And it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
58, boys, 54. 6-man.
3rd and long. It's Watson looking deep downfield. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a race. Harris Campbell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put...
Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touch. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
At the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Rosen. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Call that a 46 of 40 on the 6-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for the rookie Paris Campbell, and it's third down.
Malcolm Jenkins on the coverage.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The final shot before the break. Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's home. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a toss play. It's Hines. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, 59. 65. Hey, 55.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Hines. And only able to muster a 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the air now with Watson. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
A 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Hines, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Reset, 19. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Operating from the gun, Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Hall. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
They're on to the 2nd half now down in Miami. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. One big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. To throw is Rosen. Forced out to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb, 95 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Here's Rosen to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now Rosen looking to throw. Complete to Jones. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and very short, Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he's going to have a 1st down at 4-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. He's going to look deep in zone for Hopkins. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
17.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Big Ed. 9. Hey, 24. Joker. 9, let's go.
To throw is Watson. Looking for Campbell downfield. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. A critical error there in a...
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Going deep for Hopkins. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
I got you.
Now it's Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down.
And 10 yards to go.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. One day. Hey, exit. 54 Mike. All day.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And a Bengal first down.
Rosen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Rosen will throw. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So now at third and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen, escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Trying to force it to his tight end, Walker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Throwing again on second and 10. Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it third and long.
58 from Mike. So don't sign him.
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Let's take it inside his own 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
For a Ravens touchdown. Naeem Hines, 78 yards, as the Ravens push further out in front. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Next to score, Ravens 31, Bengals 17.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
They're on 27-yard line.
At the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
16 yards, a 1st down.
First down.
Right there. 54 Mike. Go. Go.
Rosen on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. His throw caught right around the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Set. 80. Check 55. Mike. 80. Go.
And now it's Rosen looking to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Check 24. Check 24. Tight dog. Tight dog. Tight dog.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Watson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Rush in. Rush in. Rush in.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I think you'd have to label this an upset. Yes, they were at home, but still an upset. They got the job done.
Yeah, even being at home was not enough for people to think they were going to pull this one off. But give them credit for playing not just a smart football game, but one where they were going to be physical about the whole thing. They put up their fists and said, let's fight, and showed their crowd that they were into this one.
Then that's the thing. The crowd responded. They were really good in this game.
Yeah, they were not going to be pushed around. They were not going to be intimidated. They refused to back down and came away with a victory.
So for Baltimore, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at